You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello there, polished women! Oh my gosh, I'm excited for today's topic! Although I'm not dating, I'm married, but I'm excited about this whole topic because we hear terms like ghosting, benching, and nagging in relation to the potential problems with dating, and they sound like unique problems. I don't even know these terms anyway, but I've learned about it for this past few days. But for us, for as long as people have been dating, you've had guys who just stopped calling out of the blue, guys who treated girls like an option and not a priority, and guys who thought that the best way to talk to a woman was to break her down. So for as much as dating has changed, there are certain things that haven't, and so the focus shouldn't be on how difficult dating is, but instead how to get out there and find what you're looking for. So I have right now Jessica on my right side and Liz. They're both on their late 20s, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and then I have Tamara.
Hello.
Hello, Tamara. How are you? She is going to be our dating expert for this millennial, girls. But before that, I'll tell you something about my story. So before I got married, I was called the manizer. You know, like the womanizer? I'm the manizer. It's something I discussed in my book, Date Like a Girl, Marry Like a Woman. The Polished Woman's Guide to Love, Romance, and Sex, which is a book of the rules I applied to my own dating life. And once I got married, even if a woman doesn't want to be a manizer though, I think that it's important that she has done clear guidelines and she follows when dating. So I want Tamara to help these two girls, with the rules of dating. Are there actually rules in dating, Tamara?
You know what? I think there's so many people that have come out with rules, and I would say throw them all out.
Yeah.
Every one of them. Because what's most important is listening to your heart.
Yes.
Really be internally led and guided. And you know what? If somebody's not calling you back, or somebody's not giving you the respect or the love that you're yearning for, it's very easy to say, next.
Yeah.
Thank them. Thank them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You are so not for me.
Exactly.
And it's all right. We don't have to force love ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Love is naturally who we are. And we're going to gravitate and we're going to be magnetic forces for that love that we are that's looking for us.
Okay.
And I love that Max taught me this a long time ago. He says, what you're looking for is already looking for you.
I know. I think the more you look for the guy, the more it's hard to find. But these girls have question for you. Okay, let's start with Jessica. Jess.
Okay. What would be my number one dating question? I guess I honestly am a habitual, I'm focused on my career when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
But I realize that if I tell a guy that, then if things get serious, then it still always is like we're focused on our career. So it's just a matter of... No, go ahead.
So Jessica is more of like a career-oriented woman.
I taught human sexuality for many years at Orange Coast College in Orange County, California. And what I used to always tell my kids is that there's a lid for every pot.
Okay.
And whatever your focus is, you don't have to alter, you don't have to change it, you don't have to put yourself in a pretzel where when you're twisted and you're trying to alter who you are for anybody else, when you come untwisted and you fart, like everybody farts, okay?
I love that.
You,
I love
that. When that happens, it's like, what?
Right.
They're like, who am I with?
Yeah.
Start out farting. Start out farting. Start out being who you are. If your career is most important to you, do not change. Do not
Absolutely.
change. If what is really important to you is relationships, and then career is second, there's somebody that's looking for you that's in that arena.
Right.
If and you don't have to sacrifice anything. I think that's the big myth, that you have to sacrifice anything to be with someone else. They're an enhancement to your gorgeous, wonderful life. And when we get that, oh my gosh, you're not going to have to alter anything to be with somebody else, ever.
Awesome.
But how if you feel like, hold on this, okay? How if you feel like you're already like, you feel this when you reach the age of 35, like, oh, I want to be, I want to have someone serious now. Like, everyone's married and I'm not married yet. Like I want to be in a serious relationship. I want to get married soon. Like the 35, that's the time when you want to be in a relationship or serious one where you're going to get and settle down and, be married and have kids. What do you do if you're not yet, if you're...
Well, the thing is, because our focus changes, right? So you've made your mark. You've done the ambitious thing. Okay, so one of the most important things to do is focus on the relationship with yourself. Okay? So one of the first physical things you can do is clear out a nightstand. Clear out half of your closet. Energetically make room for your partner to illuminate him or herself for you. Whoever that is, you're just making room for them. And then do the very thing that you want to do with them. Start doing that for yourself. So start drawing a beautiful bubble bath. You start lighting candles. You go out and you have a glass of wine, or you even if it's just by yourself, but you are preparing yourself to be available and open and an extension of love like nobody's business. So when that becomes a priority, okay, so you're 35, done the career thing, okay, now it's time for you. And relationships are going to be an extension of the relationship you have with yourself. Wow. So how well do you enjoy your company? Can you go out, just by yourself and have a glass of wine or meet just people and just, you are already putting out those pheromones that say, I am ready, I am juicy, I am loving, I am amazing.
I love that.
So you exude that. Okay, you exude that energy, and you're going to attract someone who's going to treat you like you're treating yourself.
Good.
It makes sense. It's
that makes sense. Yeah.
Manifesting it.
Yeah, manifesting it. How about you, Liz? Do you have any questions for Tamara?
I think my question or my problem has to do with social media and dating. I feel like it's not really real. Do you know, I don't know, I think social media makes everything so much harder in life, especially like us being 20 and that's all we focus on is like social media.
Yeah.
So how do you do social media and dating and like dating on social media and then meeting in person? You know what I mean? Like that whole
I'm
situation
old fashioned.
is
I
so
like to
hard.
meet the guy. I don't like to do the social media or internet dating. It kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
Even though because
like
we're
all the
lucky
apps too.
I've never done a dating app. It creeps me out only because I like physical connection.
Yeah.
For me, like it's easy to know if you click with someone right away.
Yeah.
I've had an instance where my friend tried to set me up on a blind date and texting was great.
Yeah.
But when we went on a date, it was horrible. There was no connection there.
Yeah, because
I'm like,
men don't
okay.
really talk anymore, right?
No, not even.
Yeah.
It's just like physically it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it just turned me off all the way.
Yeah.
I
So
couldn't do
what
it.
do you
You
think,
couldn't, like,
Tamara?
talk to
What do you
them?
think? How
See,
can you
it
answer
was the
this?
styling. It had a lot to do with just where I was in my life, what he liked to do on his downtime. Who he liked to watch Cops. Who the hell likes to watch Cops on their downtime? I'm like, I want to know what footprint you're leaving on this earth. Like, what are you doing to change the world? Big, little, small.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to focus on those passions. Like me, that's what I'm. So we weren't there. We didn't click on those levels, and it just for me was like, I tried to, because I don't necessarily have a list, but I do realize that there's certain things that I like.
Yes.
So I tried to see, like, he was a nice guy, but he just wasn't for me.
Yeah. What do you think, Tamara, with Liz's question?
Oh my goodness,
With all
I
the
couldn't
social
agree
media.
more with this whole social media or online dating. Now, I've heard wonderful stories where they've worked out beautiful, but literally you're in an altered reality, right? So this is some kind of virtual reality when you're just texting or when you're just, trying to get to know each other through social media.
Yeah.
It's no replacement for the real deal.
Yes.
I mean, it really isn't. And so one of the things, I love that You want that raw, that connection, that chemistry that's right in front of you. And sometimes it can happen through some social media, but social media is just a tool, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't replace the real experience that you're yearning for. So one of the things that I used to do, and this is just, I'm in one of the most yummy, juicy relationships ever that have challenged us to the brinks and brought us back, from hell to heaven and everything in between. And it's messy and it's exciting and it's downtime and it's changed the world, or it's sitting right next to me, put your head on my lap and let me rub your hair. I mean, it's the downtime too that's so invigorating.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did was really get in touch with source, the source of all creation. For me, there's no substitute for that. And whatever you call it, universal intelligence, God, whatever that is for you, I mean, to really tap into the creator of your being already knows exactly what you need and what's going to be better than anything you could make a list for, anything you could dream up, any criteria that you have. And if you're willing to take the leap, okay, because this is a leap of faith. It really is.
Yes.
To put yourself out there and say, either I'm going to fly or I'm going to die, right? I'm going to go flat on the ground, okay? But I'm going to trust that the creator of the universe, the creator of me, knows something far greater than my little minute mind or perception or skills or tools or rules or anything that's set up for me to guarantee some kind of success. My creator knows so much better than anything I could come up with. And I'm telling you, it's going to be better than you could have ever imagined. So maybe you're thinking, look, I'll just settle for somebody who's, got a job or somebody who's, halfway decent. No way. Okay? So the thing is, I mean, God knows exactly what is going to light you up. I mean, there's nothing that makes, I believe, God happier than his children just being elated and in love. I mean, there's nothing of a substitute for being in love. And when you allow yourself to ride that wave, to take the risk, to say, God, you know what? I don't know, but I know you know, and I'm open. And then let God surprise you.
I know.
Be surprised. You don't want some packaged deal that you're going to have to choose between. Let God surprise you, and don't worry about the package and the way it shows up, because whatever comes out from what's inside that package, you're going to go
crazy. You know what's funny?
Whoa.
You telling me this. I just did a show with Yolanda Hadid. In fact, Jessica was one of our producers, and she was just telling us and sharing with us how she met the guy. Like she wrote down and really prayed and manifested the guy that she wants to be with. So she wrote on a piece of paper, I think 10 characters or some characters that she liked from a man, and manifested that. She really took her time for 2 years and not really date anyone, and all of a sudden, and she's a very religious person as well, and all of a sudden, like one day, this guy knocked on her door, and it was the right man that the characters had, whatever characteristic that she wrote on her note was that guy had it. Isn't that crazy?
That's
And she
crazy.
wasn't like looking for it. Like all of he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, she put it
and
out
knocked,
in the universe.
and knocked on his door. And
See, that is what is so beautiful. Anything that you're wanting as a characteristic in someone else, make sure it's in you first.
yeah, but how about Tamara? How about I know. How about nowadays? There's a lot of this whole what they call this nagging or benching and ghosting, and most of these guys are expecting these girls to have sex with them.
I feel like social media is it's very sexualized. You know,
Yes,
you're only
I
gonna
know.
get the best
Yes.
picture. You're only gonna get the body. You know,
Yeah.
girls that want to show off their body.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, and because it's very sexualized, and certain women are
Yeah.
putting themselves out there for
Exactly,
specific
right?
reasons, whether
Yeah.
it's monetarily or to be in a relationship with an athlete or someone who does have
Yeah.
money. It's difficult for someone who's like slender. Me, I'm part of the itty bitty titty and booty committee. Okay, so I'm not. Yeah, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't even pay attention to some of those guys, but I do find that the best relationships that I have experienced were
the
when
ones.
I was least expecting anyone, you know? Any of those connections
Yeah.
that worked for me was when I least expected it, or it literally just came out of the blue. And one of my male friends actually told me, he said, you'll meet the guy when you're where you want to be in your life.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you guys believe in that?
Yes,
Yeah. Like
honey.
once he
Yeah.
told me that, it just completely changed my perspective, and I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense.
Yes.
And then that's why I'm like, I've just been career driven, focused on what I want, and
Yeah.
then eventually, because honestly, I never saw myself with anyone. It was just me, my
Yeah.
success,
Yeah.
and comfortability. You know, my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
I never really saw myself with anyone, but I have been in great relationships where it's like, okay, you know, I will consider, I could see myself in a great, fruitful, loving relationship,
Yeah.
you know, for the rest of my life with someone. But the time isn't necessarily
Yeah.
now for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
Sure,
So you're
sure.
not really.
Oh my God, you
Yeah,
couldn't have said
looking-
it any better. You know, one of the best movies out. Have
Yeah.
you guys seen the movie I Feel Pretty
No.
with Amy Schumer?
No, I haven't
Okay.
seen it. It's new. It just
Oh,
came out, right?
yeah.
You've got the greatest,
Really?
greatest attitude of any woman ever.
Wow.
When you have the confidence
Yeah.
that you know whatever package it is that you've shown up with, and you're not twisting yourself to be anything different than who God wonderfully and beautifully made you as. And you see that beauty in the mirror looking back at you, and you're like looking at the mirror going, oh, I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, I
And do
have
that
a thing
5
with the guys
times.
that- yeah, the
With
guys
or
that work
without
with me,
makeup?
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you just woke up and you got your hair going every which way to Sunday.
Yeah. I know. Just
So,
say I'm beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. What is your problem with
I'm-
this? I mean, with the whole, dating thing.
Yeah, what's
I
your
mean,
experience,
Yeah,
Liz?
what's your,
Where are
what's
you
your
at
I
right now?
hate
experience?
dating. I really
Yeah?
do.
Yeah.
I hate dating. I hate going on dates. I'm really bad at like putting myself out there. I
Same.
would say. I feel like I know what I want from somebody, and the second I meet somebody and they do one little thing, I'm so turned off.
Really?
And it's so bad because I try to be open
Yeah.
and try to be like, okay, like this is a new thing. I'm like just meeting this guy, blah, blah, blah. And he'll do something or he'll say something and I'm like, no,
Right.
done.
Yeah.
And it's
Really?
so bad, yeah. But it's like I already know what I want from somebody.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to waste my
your
time.
Right.
That's so true.
Or I have the
No.
opposite. I have that happens,
And
or I have
and I was
something, I meet somebody and I'm like into them, and then it's like they're not into me, And then I'm like, what?
I know that feeling.
Yeah,
very
why
well.
is that?
it never ends up happening.
Yeah.
Why is that, Tamara? I think that happened to me when I was younger. When I'm into someone, they're not into me, and then when you're not, then they're into you,
Yeah.
right?
I realize I also kind of like the thrill of the chase, because sometimes I might be into someone, and if I find out that they're into me, then it turns me off, because I'm like, okay, then I can kind of have you.
See, I think these girls like bad boys.
Yeah, no. I like
don't.
an in between. Give me a medium, like. I'm from New York, so you have to have a little
yes, sir.
street, a little bad boy in you somewhere.
Yeah.
But doesn't have to necessarily be all the time.
Yeah.
What we like to say is we like a guy with a suit in the day and Timberlands at night.
I like that. Hey, I want to share with you a friend of mine, actually, who I thought he's gorgeous, good-looking guy. He used to model. And I always have this thing that when a guy is 40 years old, never marry the guy.
40?
40. It means there's something wrong with him. But then again, now I just found out he's already like 42 years old, gorgeous man, and he's actually getting married.
Wow.
And guess what? And he's like the most, he was like the most womanizer, because he's gorgeous. He's like the most womanizer guy in LA, and he like dated every single model, beautiful model. I just found out he's getting married, and guess what?
How
Why
old is
is
she?
he getting married to this girl? Because this girl
she's
hadn't had
pregnant.
sex with him for almost a year.
She hadn't had sex with him?
No.
Well, good.
I know.
I
And
believe
the
in
guy-
that.
And the guy,
I'm the same.
because this girl, she's very religious, and she said that I will not do anything. And so this guy, at first, he was like, "You're crazy. You're crazy. Why are you not having sex with me?" It's like, because it's my religion. We can't do it. And this guy like tried to like date her on and off because he wants to have sex. And finally, at the end, he just said, "Okay, he's proposing to her and he's marrying her." Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
But what if their sex is awful?
No, you know why? Because
That's a risk she's
it's-
willing
no,
to take.
No, you know why? Because if you learn about
Chemistry,
the
mental?
chemistry, it's not all about sex anymore. It's
That's
about
true.
knowing each other. Because that's the hard part when you start with sex.
Yeah.
And then he's good in bed. Then what happened is it's all in your mind that, oh my God, I'm in love with him, but you're really not in love with him.
You're in lust.
You're
Yeah.
in lust with him.
Yeah.
And comparing it to being with the person for like a couple of months, or getting married, and that's when it's more than sex now. It's more of like relationship. It's more of like the intimacy between the two of you. Because
Yeah.
when you don't have sex, all you want to do is to learn,
And communicate.
and communicate and
Yeah.
learn about each other, right, Tamara?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started dating my husband, I mean, literally for that entire year, I mean, of course, we were intimate
Yeah.
and kissing and things like that. But there's something that gets released in your brain. It's called oxytocin.
Yeah.
And when you have sex with someone, I mean, it is like this bonding
Yeah.
glue between the two of you.
Yeah.
Now, for women, that lasts until your next period. For men, because it's like, hey, I don't need them to, raise a baby.
Yeah.
And then for men, it lasts for 2 to 3 days. Now, it's true.
Yeah.
And what happens for a woman when there isn't a commitment, many times, and this isn't every woman, but many times, it does a hit on her self-esteem.
Oh.
So when your self-esteem is hit like that,
Okay.
it doesn't make you nearly as attractive.
Oh.
So I would withhold just for that one reason alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is something about when you withhold that, there's something that he can trust that when he's with you, you'll withhold that with
Yeah.
other men.
Yeah.
That you're going to be his. He's going to be yours.
Yes.
And you're not having this fear that sex could just take anybody out of the relationship, because you've established so much more of a beautiful relationship
Yes.
that's dependent on that. Because let me tell you something, I mean, sex is just mechanics. And when you're in love,
Yeah.
You'll
I
be
know. It's a
great.
love. Yeah.
you'll be great for the person that you are meant to be with. That is never a concern that you have to have if somebody's going to be good and bad or not. When you love this person, they are going to be amazing, and you have peace in your heart,
Yeah.
and you feel that strong connection, and it is like God ordained and stamped. You don't have to worry.
So, meaning, if the guy is ghosting you or benching you or negging you, forget about him.
sucks
like
anyways.
I would.
move on, and
Trust
don't
me, I'm
stop
not sweating
Yeah,
anybody.
stop thinking about them. Whoever, for all you ladies out there, single women, if you're like, why is he not texting me back? Why is he not calling me back? You know what? If the guy is not texting you back and not calling you back, it means he's not into you. Because
Yeah.
even if he's the president of the biggest company in this whole world, if they really like you, they will have time to call you and text you back. Trust me, I've
They
dated
make time.
a lot of guys out there.
My mom
So,
says
yeah.
she raised my sisters and I to believe that you are the prize.
Yeah.
So if they're not into
Absolutely.
you, there's no such thing as chasing. You go about your business
Yeah.
and keep your head strong
Absolutely.
and on to the next.
Yeah, I know. I
And
remember.
you don't want to be with anybody who doesn't want to be with you.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Good day.
Feel the power in that.
I know.
You really don't want to be with anybody who doesn't want to be with you.
That's so
You
true.
don't have to be.
You heard that, girls?
Yeah, listen.
All right.
I have those issues.
Thank you.
Amigos.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We have to
Tamara.
wrap up.
God
Thank you.
bless you. You angels,
too.
you go out there and have a wonderful time and trust.
Yes.
Trust the universe. Trust that God knows exactly what you need. Keep being your amazing self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go see that movie, I Feel Pretty.
We
By
will.
Amy
Yes,
Schumer.
for sure.
I mean, that she's got it down. Okay, and just know that you are incredibly, wonderfully, and beautifully made, and God has the perfect partner for you.
Beautifully made.
Just
Awesome.
trust, and all will be well with your soul.
Thank
Awesome.
you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Tamara. Oh, and by the way,
Oh, you're welcome.
you girls out there, if you want to know more about dating, grab this book, Date Like a Girl,
Yes.
Marry Like a Woman.
So many gems in that book, you guys.
Yeah.
Don't even know.
Okay, if you're single, the one thing I want to leave you with is this. Be honest. I'm not just talking about being truthful about who you are when you meet someone, but also be truthful with yourself about what is it you're looking for. And if your friends offer to set you up with someone, be honest with them as well. All you're doing is wasting everyone's time, including your own, if you're lying about what you want. I think the best way to meet someone is for a friend to find you a blind date. I think for me, that's the best because your friend knows who you are. Someone that you trust. When you go out, you're like, okay, I can introduce you to this friend. I mean, for me, okay, I'm not a, what do you call that? An online whatever
Expert?
Yeah, I'm not an online person,
Expert.
so I'd rather have someone introduce me to someone, to somebody, or although I met my husband in a bar. But anyway, tip of the day. I wrote this in my book. We women try to put too much pressure on finding Mr. Right rather than enjoy Mr. Right. Worse yet, sometimes we're far too willing to go to great lengths just because we think we like someone. Remember that you are beautiful and that your body and mind are your own. So don't give away ownership of those things right away. Preserve it. I know we all have needs. I know we need sex, but no. Remember, your vagina is a precious cargo, so don't just give it away. Maybe the next time you meet someone, hold off to the sex part and let's see what happens. Right?
Yes,
I know a lot of
absolutely.
women will not agree to this.
No, I agree. Friends
But
first.
trust me, if you preserve it, trust me, it will come. Okay. So remember, polished women, love one another. Let's try to give love to the first person you see today after watching and listening to my podcast show.
Yeah!
Yay!
Yay! Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, girls.
you.
Hey, let's
Yes.
cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry, Tamara, we have champagne here.
Yes.
So we'll cheers for you.
Thank you, angels.
Thank you. Wow, she's like.
You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.